Good evening and welcome to West Talk. Today is Tuesday, April the 26th. Spring is here and I don't know how I feel about it yet. I would like to be skiing still, but I'm sure we can all look forward to a great spring and summer here in Western Newfoundland. And a big event that happens every year around this time of year that welcomes summer in a really awesome way is the Trails, Tales and Tunes Festival that happens in Grossmorn in Norris Point in May. And here to tell us more about that festival and what's on the schedule for this year, Mr. Wayne Parsons. Wayne, thanks for coming in, man.
Thank you for having us. Or me, I should say.
Yeah, well, you on behalf of everyone else.
On behalf of a committee and our festival, yeah.
Because it does take a big team that works on this all year round, right?
Yeah.
How many people would you say work on this festival?
Well, we have our board, probably, I think about 7 people on the board, and you bounce stuff back. But myself and Kim Lovies are basically book the bands, and Kim does the clerical and book the acts, I should say, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the events of this festival, they happen all around the area, right? Like some of it's at the town hall, some's at the Cat Stop.
And the Lions Club. The Old Cottage Hospital, we'll use that this year. Normally we use Memorial University's Marine Biology Center, the theater, but we don't think that's going to be available this year.
There's a theater in there?
Excuse me?
I didn't know there was a theater in there.
There's a little 80-seater. And
wow.
we normally that's where we would put our songwriters and some special events. Like we do SoCan songwriter sessions each weekend on Saturday of each weekend because it runs from I'll probably tell you that now to May 20th until the 29th. So awesome. Both weekends we have songwriters SoCan, sponsored by SoCan, on the Saturdays, and we have an extra songwriters put in on Sunday because it's quite a popular event. Yeah. And it's kind of a circle, you know, where you basically let the songwriters talk about their songs, sing. Yeah. It's a wonderful event, and normally that would happen in the theater, like an 80-seater and a little more intimate. This year we're going to try to make the town hall a little more intimate, you know. Like
so you're gonna set it up in the round kind of thing, maybe?
Kind of. Well, in the theater, there's a stage already there, so they would be on the stage. Right on. But the seats are the viewing it are in a round. But and they would, you know, like sit down and kind of play off each other and talk. That's a wonderful part. We got some great writers coming this year, you know, some old, new, younger. It's just eclectic in the talent coming this year.
And that's a part of that's kind of the special thing about this festival, right? Like, you know, in Newfoundland, in the summertime, there's lots of opportunities to go see live music and there's lots of festivals that happen. But an interesting thing about this festival seems to be exactly like you say, it gives audiences this chance to like connect with the songwriters and with the musicians on a much more intimate and like in-person level, right?
You're exactly right, because the trails, tales and tunes, and like when you listen to a song, it's when you get a song dissected a bit and they talk about their music, that's a tale in itself, you know. Mm-hmm. And we really try to push the spoken word as well, you know. Yeah. Not as much this year as normal, but we do have some storytelling. We're doing something really cool this year, and we did it virtually last year called Shed Talks. So there's going to be a shed talk on Tuesday and Thursday, right in the middle of Trails, Tales, and Tunes. It's going to be started on a Friday and finished on a Sunday, the following Sunday. Yeah. And so what we're not the following Sunday, 10 days after, you know. But what I mean by that is shed talks where we're going to take in a shed situation. An interview this year is going to be about Hollands Memorial High School, which is no longer there now. We're going to get some of the old teachers. They'll talk about what it was
school
like.
In Norris Point?
And we have the Marine Station. We're going to give the story of the Marine Station, and that goes way back. Memorial University's Marine Station, before it became the Marine Center, like the wonderful facility we have now. And also Wild Cove, which is a beautiful little part of Norris Point. There's going to be a little shed talk where they're going to interview some of the people that grew up there, because there's not many people that live there anymore, you know, and just talk about what it was like to live in Wild Cove in those days. You know, it's just that kind of stuff, right? Besides the music, I should say.
So that's expanding off the tales element sort of this festival.
And of course, guided walks every day.
Every day.
Every day, yeah.
And who guides those walks?
Bettina Laurie, who's transplanted from Switzerland, has been living in North Point since the early 90s. She's going to be doing it, and local volunteers like Derek Whitaker, who's works with Parks Canada, biologist, birds. So you'll take people on a bird walk, you know.
Wow.
On a bird walk.
Not the
dance, not the dance. The walk, yeah.
That's a really interesting layer to the festival.
Yeah, it's a lot of, and you know, there's a lot of uptake on that. One day we'll just take the boat over to Woody Point, and they'll do almost like not so much a scavenger hunt. Take photographs on your iPhone or on your phone, whatever, you know, and if these, they'll give you a list of things you have to find.
Yeah.
And and you explore Woody Point that way.
Very interesting. I like that.
Kind of interesting little take. I mean, the music is off the charts. That is the centerpiece, no doubt about that. You know, but so it's layered, like you said, I guess.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can tell me now or not. I noticed they're not here on this. Are the Catch part of this festival this year?
Excuse me?
Are the Catch going to be playing at this festival this year?
This year it will not be the Catch. It'll be the McDonald Brothers McD, Mike and with Scott Shepard on bass.
Cool.
But we have he might be able to. He's learning.
Who, Scott?
Yeah.
Oh, he's probably one of the best bassists in Newfoundland.
Anybody in the listening audience doesn't know Scott. Scott is all over Trails, Tales, and Tunes this year because he's playing with
everyone,
with the
probably.
Jazz Apostles. And we have, I guess, for want of a better way of putting it, we've always tried to pay homage to some of the musicians that are very, very well known in Newfoundland and Labrador that have been around a long time. Their body of work. This year we have a couple coming, but particularly Glenn Simmons is coming from Nova Scotia. He lives now in Liverpool, but he's coming over. And when we talked to Glenn, he said, "Is there any place to jam over there?" And I thought about, wait, hang on a second. Maybe the Brothers McD and Glenn and the boys said, well, they'll come, the bass player. So Scott, Glenn Simmons is coming over on the Sunday night. He's playing on the Sunday, I think that would be 22nd, Sunday night.
So is he playing solo or is he being backed by
He's playing. He's basically sitting in with them.
Oh,
he wants to jam.
That's cool.
And Chris LeDrew is coming the same weekend. Ooh. And Chris kind of invited himself to sit in too, because he's jammed with the boys. They know each other. I mean, Glenn Simmons, for people who don't know, wonderful grand band.
Fables.
The Fables, and plus he's just a wonderful writer. So he's in our songwriting, and he's on main stage as a solo artist.
Yeah. Wow.
And we have Craig Young coming this year as well.
Monster guitarist.
He's with Carl Westphalen, the fiddler, and Josh Ward, I think. Josh is from Rosetta.
This is like their bluegrass trio that they have on the go?
Bluegrass trio, so they're coming. And Craig is also doing a solo thing as a songwriter session. Rosemary Lawton, again, an amazing young singer-songwriter, fiddler.
Is she a local?
No, from St. John's.
Okay, I think she played this weekend past in Woody Point, maybe.
I think she may have, yes.
But it's a name I'm hearing coming up a lot lately as well.
And Rum Ragged are coming this year. They're doing 2 shows, Friday and Sunday, or Saturday, I mean. And we have Sherman Downey Band, the Sherman Downey Band.
That's a big deal.
And we have, of course, we don't have the Once, but we have Geraldine and Phil coming, and they're doing songwriters, and apparently with Sherman as well. So it's going to be...
So a lot of this kind of happens right around this festival. It's not uncommon to see musicians jamming with each other, supporting each other in different events.
I think organically. I think it's more organic. And the late night stuff, you know, and when we say late night, it's really 12:30.
Yeah.
Things are done,
That's when the after party starts.
And, if people are so inclined. Yeah. But, I mean, we have... some of what we call the staple local bands. I mean, we have 3 of a kind from Stephenville, 4 of them. Yeah. And then we have mixtapes. Yeah. And then
are they playing up there this year?
Yeah, they're playing Saturday night, the first weekend.
Cat Stop?
At the Cat Stop, yeah.
Okay.
The late night. And then we have the Benoits coming at the Lions Club from Port-au-Port area. Yeah. And I mean, they have young, I looking forward to hearing him sing Tyler Klassen.
Yeah, he's an up-and-comer now, for sure.
Up-and-comer, yeah. He's with them. So,
Yeah.
and we have, our matinees too. Our matinees, we have a lot of local, like Casey, and we have the Jazz Apostles coming on a Sunday night, And so if you need to get the schedule, that's something, just go Trails, Tales, and Tunes.ca and get the schedule. Tickets. The way the tickets are structured for our town hall concerts, there will be tickets available in front that you can purchase and be guaranteed your seat.
Yep.
But it's also, because we engage the community, and you have 10 days, you rely on the community, you can pay by donation as well. For the town hall concerts. That's not songwriters. And then we have Celebrate the Sea Day down at the Cat Stop. Oh, we have a young band from Corner Brook that I'm so looking forward to hearing. They're called The Strangers. So Scott Shepherd's is mentoring.
Oh, it's a Scott Shepherd project?
He's mentoring this young band, so I'm so looking forward to it. We always had a youth concert, but that's been proven to be a little difficult to organize. So we'll try our best to have a youth component.
Yeah.
And we will. We have the French Shore Fiddlers coming out of Port Saunders.
Wow.
So that's during the week, and they're going to do maybe a session outside or in the tent at the Cat Stop. That's where we look to put them, I think.
Wow, you've got the who's who of Newfoundland musicians here on this lineup.
Yeah, and we didn't go really out. And we also, another part of our show or our festival is Shirley Montague, of course, is the brainchild of this festival. She started it, and Shirley lives in North Point, but is out of her home originally was in Northwest River. And so we always have a Labrador component. This year we have Dave Patton coming. We have Silver Wolf Band. And we have Dale Amell from Cartwright, and Shirley will be hosting. That's the last night of the festival.
Okay. And that'll be on the 29th.
That's going to be, I'm looking forward to that for sure.
Wow. Wayne, this sounds like an amazing festival. And I know I'll be up this year for sure. The first time, I'm just remembering as we're speaking, the first time I met you, I had my bachelor party a few years back in Glen Burnie, and you guys were kind enough to come pick us up from Glen Burnie in the boat and bring us to the Cat Stop to see the catch. And so very, very memorable night for me. And you guys were so awesome, and it was just such a cool experience.
I knew your face.
Yeah.
That's where, yeah.
There it is, from a party a few years ago. So Wayne, thank you so much for coming down here today.
You're so welcome. I'm so happy to be here, and so happy that you gave us the opportunity to talk about our little festival. Thank you so much.
Awesome. And to the folks at home, go find out more about this festival, get your tickets, and see the schedule at www.trailstalestunes.ca. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Cindy Andrews. Stay tuned. All right, and we're back with a guest who is no stranger to the regular West Talk viewer, here to talk about the 14th annual Couch to 5K, which is put off by the Humber Community YMCA. We have Miss Cindy Andrews. Cindy, thanks for coming back in.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Last time you were here, we were talking about the Couch to 5K, but it was a little different last time.
It was.
Because we were mid-pandemic and things had to happen virtually. How did that go, by the way?
That went fairly well. We were very fortunate that Rogers TV did all the videos. It was the first undertaking that the Wise took on to do a program like that online.
Yeah.
So we were able to reach out to people outside of Corner Brook.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good experience. And
so you guys had am I right in thinking that you guys brought in, you did it here, right? And brought in treadmills and did the whole green screen
Yeah.
situation?
A treadmill was donated by Canadian Tire.
Awesome.
And then at the end, other than people who participated in the program, the outside public were able to buy tickets.
Yeah.
And they won a beautiful treadmill, which
Someone
was
got
really
the
nice.
treadmill.
There was a lot of promotion, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That was all through Canadian Tire, which was great.
Yeah, well, I think, that at that point, that was like the 13th year for this, right?
Yes.
So it was really good to see just not letting it go, keeping the flame going with a virtual option. So that's neat. But I'm sure that you're very excited to be doing this back in person.
Yes.
And so last time we spoke more about how the virtual thing was going to go. So to the viewers at home, why don't you just chat about the Couch to 5K, what it is, and how people can get involved this year.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So the Couch to 5K, as you've said, it goes through the Humber Community YMCA, and what it is, it's a Learn to Run program. It'll take you from walk running through 9 weeks to build you up to a 5K distance.
And this is like technique. This is not just like exercise focus. It's about learning how to run, right? Because it's not just walking fast.
It's not just walking fast.
There's a way to run, right?
There's definitely a way to run.
Okay.
How that generally goes is we have 12 coaches with our program. So throughout the 9 weeks, the program takes place 6:30 in the evening, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And each evening there are 4 different coaches assigned to each night. So whoever joins, each night they come, they'll see the steady 4 different coaches. Yeah. But sometimes we're lucky enough that the coaches can come every night, which is a bigger advantage to our participants. So with the range of coaches that we have different experiences. So we have coaches who have continually ran the 5K distance, and we have others who have done half marathons, ultra marathons, you name it, they've done it. So so when our participants come, they have the knowledge of all these people from different ages and different walks of life and different experiences to offer to the participants, which is a really good advantage.
And I guess that just keeps it like more accessible to people. It's not just, you're not just targeting, hardcore athletes or people desiring that. It's just, so where do you meet up at the YMCA? Okay. Yeah. And then is it taking place like on the treadmills, or is it outside, or both? How does that work?
Yeah. So we're in person, which is really lovely to be back at that again. Yeah. We all meet 6:30 on one of those nights at the YMCA, and we'll do a little spiel and basically pick our route. There's 3 routes that we generally go here in Corner Brook. One is Griffin Drive. Right. And the other one is in through the park. We have a route that we run around the park in Glenmalin Pond. Yeah. And then we go down the waterfront to the Pollitt Building. Nice. So, it breaks it up as different options and different scenery. And
is it 5K every time?
Yeah. Okay. Well, what it is, you're not reaching the 5K distance initially because you're not running for 30 minutes. So what happens at the end is you're basically running for 30 minutes. Right. So initially, we might end up going 2.5K or 3K. But once we're all running, the majority or the hope is we'll reach that 5K distance.
Cool. Yeah. And so within the group, then, are people like, how does that dynamic go? Are people just sort of encouraged to go at their own pace and as quickly or as slowly as they need to, or are they encouraged to stay together? How does that work?
A lot of good questions.
Yeah. I'm just trying to wrap my head around this myself.
A lot of great questions. So the people that we find coming back, I don't know if it's half and half, but I could say there's probably 60% new people, but we have about 40-ish percentage returning people that have been with the program for like 10 years. Okay. Because they like the camaraderie, they like the socialization. Yeah. So it's the best program I can recommend out there for anyone brand new, because as an athlete, or especially getting into running, the thing that stops you is intimidation. I can't do it. I'm not going to be able to breathe. I won't be able to keep up. But what you said about your own pace, that's what it's all about. That's why we have so many coaches. Yeah. We could basically be spread out. So there's a coach in the front, in the front, at the back, in the middle, coaches going back and forth. So you can run at your own pace. However, we keep them together. It's, you're spread out so far. Mm-hmm. However, we encourage someone who's at the front that can run faster. That person can probably go up to the front and then go to the side and come back to the back. Right. Go back. If they have it in them, if it's someone that's been returning, or someone who's already competed in races that have that ability, they can go for it.
They already know they can run 5K, so let's work together.
Yes, so there's all those options.
I like that. Yeah. That sounds pretty nice. What can you say about actual, the technique of running? Can you speak to that at all now? I'm not trying to put you too much on the spot here, but just what is it if someone without any training just said, I'm going to go start trying to run 5 kilometers? Could that be dangerous? Could they be doing maybe harm to their body if they're not doing the right techniques and things like that?
Yes.
Yes.
So I don't have the degree, I don't have the education to back up what I have the experience.
You've seen a lot of people learn this so far.
Yes. Yeah. I've been running for just over 10 to 12 years. I started out with the YMCA Couch to 5K, And I've spoken to so many runners, and not only that, I've spoken to doctors, massage therapists, and physio, the people who help you along the way. Because if you want to be a runner lifelong, you need to make friends with those people. Those are the experts in their field.
Right.
So I would never say to anyone new, you get up and run a 5K. Never. We always do a 5-minute warm-up walk because we're warming up our muscles, our lungs are getting prepared, our brain is getting prepared, our breathing, which is the number one complaint or the number one fear we hear from all new runners is the breathing part.
How so?
And then, I'm going to tell you that. And then, and then at the end is the 5K cool down because again, our muscles are slowing down, the breathing, the lungs, the circulation. So yeah, you asked me a question.
Sorry, I got you all messed up now.
No,
About technique.
Yeah. So with regards to technique, as coaches, we can just basically give what we feel is the best technique for an individual. We have had some like physiotherapists come in the past, and those are the experts that can, you know, we've had one gentleman who was a coach in the previous years. Luckily enough, he was able to come in and he to give a full session of techniques and things like that. So yeah,
cool.
so that's great. But about the breathing, I've often heard so many say, I can't run, I can't breathe.
Yeah, people think they're gonna have heart attacks all the time and stuff, right? Yeah, their chest gets tight and it
it is
makes them anxious.
difficult.
Yeah.
It is difficult to breathe at first. I find, I mean, I've been running all those years, but I still, in the first 10 minutes of my runs, I can't hardly breathe. So again, your body has to build up to that. And with consistency and time, your lungs will get stronger and it won't be so tough anymore. You know?
I think that's an important thing. Like even for myself, when I've been like even say hiking with certain people that I know, I find it hard. Like because it's usually exertive. You're hiking, climbing a hill. You've got stuff on your back. Yes, it's challenging to breathe, and you feel this pressure on your chest. But I think a big prohibiting thing for some people is just how you view that feeling. Right? It's not like some people would see that as a good feeling. It means that they're challenging, they're building, they're growing. And some people would think that's the scariest feeling ever to be short of breath or something. So it's interesting to hear that should be a common, I guess, barrier for people is they think that feeling means they're hurting themselves when really they're doing the best thing possibly they can for their body, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And the breathing part is funny. So oftentimes I'll take breaks through the year from my running and I'll do something else, but guaranteed as soon as I start the running again, the breathing is not back where it used to be, but it quickly gets back.
Right.
A lot faster than in previous years.
Than when you first started.
Yeah. And what you said about the hiking, I was just having this conversation with someone the other day. I have walked, like say in the hospital, say for example, and you had to walk up a flight of stairs. I'm running all these years, yet if I have to walk up 2 or 3 flights of stairs, I'm all out of breath. It's a totally different exercise. And until you train your body and your lungs,
right.
You know, but in time it always improves, it always gets better. But what you just said, it's having that mindset to keep pushing forward and know that you're challenging your body in a good way and the benefits are going to be worth it, you know?
So it's really, there's a lot of psychology involved in challenging yourself to do something like this. And I guess this is why it's called the Couch to 5K. It's because we all know at this point that it's easier to stay home. It's more comfortable to be on the couch, for sure. You know, it's warm and cozy inside there. And but we also all know in the back of our head that that's not the best place for us to be. And we didn't evolve from couch sitting people, you know, we're humans and we're meant to move and to stay moving. And I think that lack of movement probably creates a lot of problems in people's lives. I'm no doctor, but I mean, it can't be good for you to be like in your house all the time, you know? So what do you see that people are, do you believe that you're actually pulling people off the couch kind of thing? Like, are people saying that, you know, they never would have done this if it wasn't for the program? And what kind of remarks do you hear from people on how they've changed or how their life might have been changed by this?
There's always wonderful stories. That's why I keep going back. Not only because of the YMCA and what they offer to the community, you know, and us being volunteers is an honor, but it's the rewards as coaches that you see, and a lot of our coaches have come from the Couch to 5K program. They were participants, but it's the rewards and the stories that you hear, and what you said, just mentioned something earlier that triggered something. It's mental health more than anything, I have to be honest. For me, I always say exercising and running. If I get in shape, bonus. But I always find it's for my mental health. I'm happier. I have a more positive outlook on life. And not only at the social, like the in-person, and most of the majority of people, I'm from the Northern Peninsula, but the majority of people I've met in Corner Brook are through running. That's where my friends, some of my best friends have come through running, and a lot of it's through the Couch to 5K, and there's no bigger camaraderie than runners. And I've mentioned this in the past, it's the one who comes across the finish line in the end who gets the most applause, and you know, it's a wonderful community, and
what a sport.
It's really good.
No specialized equipment really required.
No.
No exceptionally special training. Everything that people need to learn how to get off the couch and get up to 5K can be had through the Humber Community YMCA. And quickly, just as we wrap up, is there a fee to participate in this?
Yes.
Yeah, how much is it?
Yeah, so for current Y members, it's $20. And for non-members, people who aren't joined up with a Y, it's $120.
Okay.
But that's for the 9-week program, and that's also for a full-on membership for 3 months.
Cool.
So say if it was raining and we weren't out, they can go on the treadmill, or they can go into a fitness class. The Y has all types of fitness classes, and then there's the gym.
Cool.
And weight training is really good for running too, so it's an awesome package. Yeah.
That is a good package.
Yeah.
And so if people want to participate now or register for this, do they go online, do they call, or just visit the YMCA?
They visit the YMCA. You can go in and register at the front desk.
Cool.
Yeah, and we start May 9th.
May 9th, that's an
Yes,
important date, and it runs for 9 weeks.
Yeah.
Amazing. Cindy, thank you so much for coming in here
welcome.
today, and I'm very happy to hear that this is going ahead for the 14th year.
Yes.
We'll have you back to talk about the 15th as well.
Thank you.
All right.
was
And thank you, Cindy. And to everyone at home, hopefully you're inspired by what Cindy had to say here, and if so, go down to the Humber Community YMCA, which is located in the Millbrook Mall in Corner Brook on the lower level, and sign up. And who knows, maybe you too could become a great runner and impress and surprise yourself even. So I encourage you all to get out and get moving. And that's it for today. Let's see you again next week. Next Tuesday, we'll have some more great guests for you. Until then, I hope you guys have a great week. And thank you for watching West Talk. Good night.
If you have a comment about this program, we'd love to hear it. Email or call us, or send us your feedback through social media.
When an impaired driver killed my brother DJ, my life changed forever. Life has changed for all of us during the pandemic, and many people are turning to alcohol and drugs to cope. Even though most of us are staying home more, police across Ontario are seeing an alarming increase in impaired driving and the horrible devastation that goes with it. Now, more than ever, we need your commitment to never drive impaired and to encourage all of your family and friends to do the same. Together, we can save lives.
Looking for the best way to get the Major League Baseball games you want to watch? Rogers Super Sports Pack has you covered. With MLB Extra Innings, you'll have a premium ticket to out-of-market regular season games with all games available in HD. Don't miss the action from the games you want from both the American and National Leagues. MLB Extra Innings, part of the Super Sports Pack. For only $35.95 a month, Rogers customers get all this for one all-inclusive price. Order using your remote starting on channel 431 or visit Rogers.com today.
It was our 35th anniversary. To celebrate, we were on our way to Mama Rosie's, where we had our first date. That's when we heard coming from the radio. So we stopped and listened. It helped us get to safety. So when I think of